If you're a dog owner, you absolutely know the look. That soulful stare that just makes you wonder what is actually going on in that furry little head. Well, today we're going to try and crack that code. It happens all the time, right? They're staring at you, they do that little head tilt, and you just know there's a whole world of thought happening behind those eyes. But what is that world really like? For the longest time, the common wisdom was that dogs were just simple, that they were creatures of pure instinct, kind of like little biological robots. But what if that's not the whole story? Science is now showing us a picture that's way more complex and, frankly, way more fascinating. So let's start our investigation. Okay, first up, let's play detective. What can we see with our own eyes? Let's gather the evidence that's right there in our living rooms, the clues hidden in their everyday behavior. These are those moments that make you stop and go, wait, how did you do that? Seriously, think about it for a second. Has your dog ever done something that just seemed too smart to be an accident? Like, not just bumping into a gate, but methodically figuring out the latch. Or how about them bringing you their leash at the exact same time every day, like they're anticipating the whole thing? These aren't just random acts. They point to planning, memory, and so much more.
See, this is where it gets really interesting. This isn't just instinct. When a dog remembers where they stashed a favorite toy weeks ago, that's complex memory at work. And when they come over and nudge you with their head when you're feeling down, that looks an awful lot like emotional intelligence.
It's like you can almost hear the gears turning in their head, right? It's not just a blind reaction, there's a thought process. My human is sad. I know, face licks, that usually helps. They're seeing a problem and they are actively trying to solve it. That is a truly empathetic response.
So, okay, their behavior definitely points to a thinking mind. But that's all on the outside. What if we could peek inside? Well, that's exactly what science did. It's time to go into the lab and take a look inside the canine brain.
And this right here was the absolute game changer. Researchers managed to train dogs to lie perfectly still inside fMRI machines, which is incredible in itself, by the way, so we could watch their brains work in real time. And what they found? Whoa. It turns out the parts of their brain that handle emotions look and function in ways that are remarkably similar to our own. Let's get just a little bit nerdy for a second and zoom in on one specific area, the caudate nucleus. Now, in our brains, this little spot is a key part of the reward center. It's what lights up with feelings of pleasure, love, and happy anticipation. And here's the kicker. That exact same region lights up like a Christmas tree in a dog's brain when they see you walk through the door, or even just when they hear the treat bag crinkle. This is powerful, powerful evidence that they experience genuine feelings of joy and affection, not just some conditioned response.
And it goes even deeper than emotion. Studies are now revealing that dogs have something called episodic-like memory. It's a fancy term, but what it means is they can recall specific one-time events, not just learned routines. For instance, in one study, an owner did a unique action, like touching a box with their forehead. Later on, when the dog was given the command, "do it," they would imitate that exact action, proving they remembered that specific moment. All right, so let's put it all together. We've got the behavioral clues, we've got the hard data from brain scans. What kind of picture does this all paint? What kind of mind are we actually talking about here?
This is where we see just how different their operating system is from ours. We think in words, right? Our inner monologue is a nonstop chatter of language. But for a dog, it's a completely different world. Theirs is a mind built on senses, primarily smell. It's less linear and more of an emotional, associative web.
So, think of it this way. When your dog remembers you, they probably aren't replaying a little movie of you in their head. It's more like they're experiencing a sensory snapshot, a rush of your unique scent, the familiar sound of your voice, and that warm, fuzzy feeling of happiness, all hitting them at once. And that leads us to this huge conclusion. We have to get rid of this old idea that dogs are just reacting to the world around them. The evidence is clear. They reflect on the past, they anticipate the future, and they have real emotional depth. Their inner life is so much richer than we ever gave them credit for.
Okay, this is all fascinating, but so what? Why does this matter for you and your dog back home? Well, in this final section, we're going to see how understanding that you're living with a thinker, well, it kind of changes everything. The big takeaway here is this. Our dogs need more than just a walk around the block. They don't just need their bodies exercised.
They need their brains exercised. To be truly happy and fulfilled, they need to think. They're not just our pets, they're our thinking partners.
So, how do we do that? Well, here are 3 really powerful ways to get started. First, brain games, puzzle toys, scent work, anything that challenges their natural problem-solving skills. Second, communication. Try teaching them the names of their toys or specific actions. And third, foster that emotional connection. Let them make choices, like which way to go on a walk. These things do so much more than just tire them out. They satisfy their deep need to think.
So I'm going to leave you with this thought. You probably talk to your dog all the time, right? We all do. But now that you know they're really thinking in there, that they're remembering and feeling, the real question isn't what you're going to say to them next. It's what are you going to start listening for? What are they already trying to tell you?